Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a man back for a 16th NFL season, Eli Manning and the New York Football Giants, as they take on Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, no precipitation to speak of, but still a very chilly December day in Philly. Winter coats and hot chocolate abound here at Lincoln Financial Field. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying, fly, Eagles, fly, as they get ready to match up with the New York Giants. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They will be led out by the 2nd overall pick back in 2016. Hard to believe he's already in his 4th season. Carson Wentz.
Just 4 weeks left in the regular season, and he has to be firmly in the driver's seat for the MVP award.
Yeah, as the month of December wears on, we'll see how this all shakes out, and the debate will certainly heat up. But he's done everything they've asked of him.
Wouldn't you love to be in his head right now, though, to see what he's thinking, how much this is affecting him? Is he thinking about it at all? Are his teammates talking to him about it? He's dealing with a little bit of pressure, though, even though he's right now the #1 guy.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Wentz going to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one, and it'll make it a 2nd down. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. And worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Throwing now is Wentz. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz with touchdown number 20 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And that should give his guys a spark. He's up all the way to the 44-yard line. So here are the Giants under second-year coach Pat Shurmur. They'll be commanded by the veteran QB, the former Walter Payton Man of the Year in the league, Eli Manning.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. That's complete to Gallman. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll bring up a second down. Here's the offense, and we give you too much power here. We let you highlight the player. Why'd you choose Zeitler?
Because I think the big guys up front never get enough credit. Kevin Zeitler, a guard, tough, nasty. We've got to give him some love.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. Time to peek at the defensive starters. Here they are for Philadelphia. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him.
Got it. 53's mine. Check. 53's mine. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback.
From midfield, here's Manning. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. How about this for an opening drive decision? You got 4th and short, just outside of field goal range in all likelihood. What do?
I'm going for it. I've got to go get it right now. I want to establish a tone. It's early in the game. I want to let my offense know that I believe in them. And you know something else? I let my defense know I believe in them also by taking that gamble. If we don't get it, it's okay. You guys will cover for me.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
That's it, baby. We go work.
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. Antoine Bethea, the leading tackler among NFL safeties last year, in on the tackle again there. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Wentz. Wentz has it left side. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 12-yard line. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming.
Come on, set. 60 outlaw. 53, high 53. You ain't going nowhere. Ready?
Manning turns and gives this to Gallman. And he gets this up just shy of the 15. 11 yards there, first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit, thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he'll be taken down at the 18. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Gallman will run it. He's got a first down past the 30 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. That one good for 26 and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Manning. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Well, it's kind of interesting when you think about Eli Manning and what he's done in his career against the Eagles, because it's one of the teams that he struggled the most with. Just 10 and 20 in 30 career games head-to-head, including 2 losses last year in 2018, with the Giants losing both in Week 6 and Week 12 to Philadelphia. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. Now Manning. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
Now Gallman. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Sensational he was last week, over 200 yards. And the simple quote that we saw this week was, keep him in front of us. They're going to have to do that.
And when they say that, it means tackling him after the catch. Because once he makes the catch, you may catch it in front. But if you don't tackle him, he's behind you at that point, and that's how he racks up the big yardage.
The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. Now Wentz. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From midfield, here's Wentz. Over the middle, and and it's incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. Throwing on first is Wentz. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Jordan Howard that time. And that'll bring up second down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To throw, it's Wentz. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Again, it's Wentz. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. B.J. Goodson with a pick. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. He's at the 30, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Giants. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Zach Ertz and the rest of the Eagles offense set to take over. And we roll the highlights of the game he's had. When we talk about wide receivers and how you shut them down, what about when you have a tight end like this having a game? How do you stop him defensively?
It really changes what you're trying to do, because defensively you're worried more about the wideouts. Okay, how are we going to cover them? The running backs, how are you going to shut them down? But the tight end is that elusive, unique player. Linebacker covering, cornerback covering, safety covering him.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Wentz now to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. A final shot before half for Wentz. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where you see the final score there. 21-7, the final score. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville. And they were winners in that one over the visiting L.A. Chargers. 35-7 was your final in a one-sided affair. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Mitchell Trubisky, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Meanwhile, in our game, each team able to manage just 1 touchdown apiece. 7-7 is our score. And for the call of the second half, we send it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Well, the final 3 weeks of the 2019 season still to play, and we start Week 15 on Thursday night. The final Thursday night game of the year, Jets and Ravens from M&T Bank Stadium, with coverage beginning at 8:20 Eastern on EA Sports. Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. To throw it is Manning, and Diggs has it. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Manning going to throw. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Shotgun now for Manning. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 1st down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
Let's go there. 50, plant. Number 53, Mike 53. Christian Travis. Ready?
Manning now on 1st down. Hooking up here with Trent Taylor. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Manning again. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. -9 yards on the play, and now it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play.
And he's hit and taken down. Eli sacked. Fletcher Cox, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Here's Jackson to return. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. And he's got this down to the 35. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a 1st down. Now Wentz. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well. Wins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be second down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Eagles have taken the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Elliott now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive spanned 5 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York set to take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They'll run again here with Gallman. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On first down, Manning to Shepard, complete over the middle. That throw good for 4. It's second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Check 26, check 26.
Here's Gallman. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Manning. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Manning now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Oh, going deep here for Taylor. Tate bringing it in for the Giant touchdown. Golden Tate with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do, because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Rosas now to add the PAT. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep.
Well, so much for the worry about how they would be after losing their lead. What a big-time return to seize the momentum back.
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Wentz going to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 34-yard line. To throw is Wentz. Gets this to his running back, Jordan Howard. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Throwing now is Wentz. And he finds Howard complete. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
It's a sneak. It's Wentz. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
New York set to take the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. Breaks a tackle. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards. First down. A lot of eyes on Golden Tate this year to see if he can take over some of the production that OBJ had before he got shipped to Cleveland. You know, Beckham had 1,000-yard seasons 4 of his 5 years in New York. Golden Tate struggled at the end of last year in Philadelphia, but he had a really good run in Detroit, including 3,000-yard seasons in the middle of this decade. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. And that'll set them back 5.
Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. This is Gallman. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop. 1:50 left in the football game. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. Here's Jackson. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. B.J. Hill able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. After the sack on 1st down, Wentz, and he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Back to throw. Wentz. And the throw there going to be incomplete. This entire defensive unit, Charles, they've really put in a good shift tonight, so to speak.
I like how you phrased that. This has been a good shift. They punched the clock the entire evening. Ought to have shirts that have their names on them in the front to let them know these are blue-collar workers who are getting it done.
Let's go.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. The Giants going to go ahead and use the 1st of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Manning now 15 out of 17 through the air, only 2 incompletions. It's 1st down. Now Manning. That's complete left side to Shepard. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Manning on the crossing route, complete. It's Taylor, and he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 34-yard line. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Now Wentz. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and it's a 2nd down. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 15-yard line. Wentz to throw again. Well, good start for him. Now Howard stripped. He lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And my, how the tables have turned. They had a chance inside the red zone, punch that thing in and end it. Now we're going the other way.
And it's real easy to just look at them and say, boy, what an error, what a mistake you made. But how about the defense coming up huge? Let's give them a little bit of credit, keeping their team in the game, because if they score a touchdown there, it's game over.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Manning. It's brought in left side by Tate. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. A delayed give to Gallman. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. And Ingram hauls it in. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
It's a gain of 5. So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. And pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Nigel Bradham brings him down. On the ground, it's Gallman again. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
Go now. 60 Pittsburgh. 53
is mine. Here we go. Hey, check
13 yards, good for a Giant first down. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware, a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Pass complete, Manning to Evan Ingram. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That one, a first down pickup of 8. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Trent Taylor there. And now it's 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Throwing again. Manning. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. This This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. On play action, it's Manning. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. He's got daylight past the 20. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Still catching our breaths from that electric finish. You get into overtime, that's one thing. It was a great 4 quarters. But then in OT, not only to win it, but to win it on a defensive score. Wow.
Oh, definitely. And I think from now on, we're going to definitely travel someone who can help us, because I thought I was going to pass out at the end. Not just getting to the overtime, but the plays in overtime that led to this one, and to finish it on a defensive touchdown, a takeaway that gets into the end zone. I'm not rooting for anyone, but boy, I love to see games finish that way.
So for Philadelphia, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Giants, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.